Hey guys, Tank here. We're live on RC Talk tonight. I'm getting ready to actually do a urban crawl this weekend. It's Saturday, and we decided to do a night urban crawl. So that should be interesting. So we're decking and we're putting all our RCs with lights, and we're going to go downtown and we're going to have some fun. So that made me think of okay, let's talk about LED lights. Um, just like the cheap one you would get at the dollar store, you can actually use those and have fun with the lights. Or you can buy other RC lights, a light kit, and actually install those also. Or you get the white ones and make your own kit, connect them directly on the battery. There's a whole bunch of different ones that you can actually get. And we got Grant's RC that's actually online right now and saying, hey, everyone, how are you doing, Grant? We're waiting on a couple people to actually get online right now. I forgot to turn on my light. Now you see me better. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but I just came back from our weekly meeting, and everybody brings their RC, not weekly, monthly meeting every second Thursday of the week, of the month. I'll get it right one of these days. And rushed back here to get the RC talk running. Sat down on the couch and almost passed out because I was just tired, running around all afternoon and everything like that. So it was interesting. So hopefully we'll get a couple guys that chimes in, or this is going to be a very quick RC talk. Grant RC says he's doing good and he's glad the week is coming to an end. Me too. I'm glad it's coming to an end. So two things I want to do tonight. I was going to look at the different RC lights, that Christmas lights that I have here. Dave from Radio Control Patrol says, good evening, everyone. I know that Dave told me that his PC was all ready. I don't know if it still is, but he's supposed to get on tonight. So I got this light kit that I got a long time ago for Christmas lights at the dollar store. And I also have this one here that's a little bit brighter, but still has multiple color. I was actually looking for a white one, and I was going to stop at the dollar store to see what they have. But at this time of year, you can't have anything. So what I wanted to do is look into, because for the crawl this weekend, I'm going to have my SCX10, and I'll show you my underglow that I have for that truck and the light bar. But I'm going to pull this weekend. So what I wanted to see and do, because these do have light buckets, I wanted to see what I had here for lights. And I'm probably going to put lights on there. I'll probably turn on just the lights. It's got light buckets at the rear also. So I was just going to turn on the lights and just leave it the light on while I pull the trailer. Or I'll put the lights around the trailer or whatever. I just want something cool and neat to actually pull downtown while we're having fun. And once in a while, what we'll do is I'll park the truck and I'll take this out and I'll boot around. I might bring also my drift tires and actually put drift tires on this thing so we can drift around. Right now it's got some soft tires on there. So, but drift tires should be fun on this thing. The fun little things, brushless and all that, so it should be cool. But tonight, or tomorrow night, I want to work on that. So Dave says, yes, indeed. Grant RC says, long time. Yes, indeed, Grant. Good to see you, man. So peace. I'm reading everything for some people that don't have the chat. So you might have the chat. I might be reading for nothing. I don't know. Hey, look who's here. You're not sleeping, you? RCVHX 22. all the way from Europe. It's probably like 3 or 4 a.m. for him right now, so he's still up. That's kind of cool. So I'll paste a link in the chat. I usually do it. This time I forgot. So, come on. Oh, let's get too much. Please bear with me a second. It's weird. So here's a link to join. Let me know if that works. Should work. Just trying something real quick. Yeah. So I pasted the link for you guys to join if you want to join in and chit chat.
Hey, Tank, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you. Troy's on.
How's it going, everybody?
Good. Your camera's kind of weird. It's kind of dark, but that's okay.
Better?
Yeah, I guess that was the lighting thing. Yeah, this trailer is kind of neat for the fact that I do have a tongue, and it's got just the it goes on my ball that I got at the back. But this trailer actually flips up. So if I take this pin off, there's a pin, body pin. So if I take it off, the trailer actually tips back to actually put the car, and I actually do drive it off and drive it back on. So it's kind of cool. And I
That's
can't.
the side-by-side you're working on before?
Yes.
Looks
But tonight I want to see if the LED I have actually fits in the holes for the light buckets. I don't think they're bright enough.
Let me see that hitch you used.
Okay, for the hitch, what it is, it's just, I can't remember what the heck this was or where I got it from.
Same as that one?
It's similar, but no, not quite. Man, I can't remember what this was before. I know it had a part on the side, but it's pretty close. But yours is basically the same thing. This is the ball that goes to the back of my trailer, of my truck. And my hitch, the way it's made, it can swivel like that. If you get in trouble, you won't break the hitch. But basically, it just snaps onto the ball, and it stays there pretty good. It's hard to snap it on, but it stays on pretty good. Then I can pull the trailer.
I like that trailer. It's nice.
So there's a tie down, so it's actually tied down in the front and the rear, but it's actually held by the suspension. So for me to take it off, I just push it down, and then I take the hook off of the front, and then it's going to be untied. And I do the same thing at the back. It's just a chain that holds on to the suspension, and basically what holds it is the suspension when it's there. So this is usually how I store this hooked up. I hook it up on the side of my rack, and this is how I store this little guy. So it takes no room, and it's just stored like that. Everything
doesn't keep any weight on your phones either.
Nope. Oh, I just found my battery. I was wondering what this battery was. It's still in the truck. It's not connected, but it's still there in the truck. I was wondering where my Traxxas E-Revo battery went, and this guy takes the same thing. So it's in here, so I'm going to have to take it out, charge it up, make sure it's charged up for the weekend.
You should put the baby seat you made in the driver's seat on that, so it has a driver.
Well, I'm taking this truck, and right now the baby seat is in it.
Okay.
Oh, I just noticed I lost my baby. I'm going to have to look outside for it. I lost my baby. It's not in the seat no more. What a bad daddy I am.
I won't report you. This is a trailer that a friend of mine and I have been working on. He 3D printed the whole chassis, but it's independent suspension.
It's cool.
And this is what I'm making for his. It's the Overlander.
Okay. So that's going to go on it. That's 3D printed also?
No, I'm making this out of styrene.
Oh, out of styrene. Cool.
At this right now, it just... Boom.
Going to have a lot of suspension.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put... This one's my trailer, and I'm going to have... He wanted his sitting up higher.
Okay.
He and I have the same exact trailer, so I can build it off of this, and then I can just give him the top piece. And this piece goes right up top like that, and that's going to be the sleeping quarters.
Cool. You're going to make like a tent that pops up on top, or what?
No, this is just going to be like a hard camper.
Mhm.
So it's just going to be what he wanted. So he didn't want anything that opened up or anything like that.
Okay.
That's what it's going to be when it's all finished.
Cool.
That's smaller on the top. Just all the need, just big enough for a sleeping space.
Yes, Tony. Looks like I did lose the baby. Tony's asking, lost the baby, question mark. So I just said, yes. Looks like I lost it.
Is he coming on?
I don't know. Did he fall inside the truck somewhere? Did he fall on the ground? Where's my little baby? My baby's gone. Oh, well. Walmart has a lot of other ones.
You could just scalp one out of clay, just the head, and then wrap it up in a little faux blanket so it looks like it's sleeping.
True.
So tonight is lights?
Yeah. Well, lights or RC. I just figured lights because I do want to show the lights I have on my SCX10 and talk about like the one I got here is actually it's like a thin strip of LED, but they're RGB light, so red, green, blue.
Okay.
So I do have 3 ground going to it and 1 power, and then I cycle which one I actually turn on. So I got a maximum of, I think it's seven or 6 different colors I can do with this.
That's pretty cool.
So that's kind of neat. So let me get my remote real quick. Yeah, and I got a video online that actually shows how to do this and how I did mine anyways for the LED light. Put my hitch there so I don't lose this one. And after this is done, I'll go in my car and check if baby's there or not. So let me change light. Camera. Other camera's not there again. Please stand by. Your call is important to us. Many things connected on my laptop. Not enough USB ports.
Never enough.
Nope.
I just installed 4 in my SUV.
Oh, yeah? Okay. I'll take my little mobile cam, move that here.
Oh, wow.
So basically, on the bottom of it, I have these. There's 4 wires onto here. But this, you buy this at any hardware store. I bought these at Lee Valley, and they come in, you buy them in strips of foot. And this one you can actually cut in, I think it's about 2-inch strip. So what I've done is I've cut this in 2-inch here. I got some over the wheel well. So the 2 wheel well, I got more strip there, strip underneath here, a strip there, and a strip at the back. So I have lights that goes all the way around. And I got AOK, which is a guy that does kind of cool electronic gadgets. I got him to do me so I run this actually on 3S, and that's what I have right here. So right now it's 12 volt. These are 12 volt lights. They will run on 2S, no problem. Just won't be as bright, not much different. So he's got a power wire going onto it, and I also have a control wire. And how it works, I have this right now on my channel 6 on my remote, and I'm running RGB plus power. So I'm actually cycling through all the different colors. And on this truck, I also have it's called LED lights. This is the light controller that I have. That's a very old light controller. It's about 5 years old now. I've had that, and I dumped that in water many times. And it still works.
Brakes and everything.
Hey?
That one does your signals and brakes?
That one just does brakes, and did it do my signals? Can't remember. I don't think it did my signals. I think it just does my brakes. Because I have... No, it just does my brake, this one. This one does not do the signal lights. It's just the brake lights, the headlights and the brake lights. So if I put this mess back on and turn on my remote, the way I got it set up is as soon as I turn on the battery, it actually turns on the lights. So my lights are actually connected. So the truck is connected, but as soon as I hit the channel, well, I got this on channel 6. No, this is channel 4, sorry. So right now it's red. If I hit again, it's green. If I hit again, it's blue. If I hit again, it's yellow. If I hit again, it's purple or pink. And then it's light blue. And then it's white. And then it's off.
Very nice.
So.
And you hook that up through your Fly Sky radio.
Yeah, it's the Fly Sky radio, and this is the hack version. So I'm up to 6 channel on this, I think. So it works pretty good.
I've got the same hacked one with all the different extra channels. I think.
You got more switches.
Yeah, I got 9 channels on mine.
Wow.
And it's hacked.
I didn't know you could do that and put the extra switches.
It's the and it's got the firmware update. Let's see here. It was like $126 on Banggood.
Okay.
And I needed a new radio, so I said, "That's it. I'm getting that one."
Cool.
The thing that sold me, other than all the channels, was the receiver for it. You can get for a 6-channel for $12, and
okay,
channel for $8.
So right now I turned off all the lights around here. So.
Oh, that looks cool.
So when I'm looking at my truck, I do have a light bar in the front. So the body's not tied, so I got to be careful. So I do have a light bar in the front bumper, and I do have one headlight, and the other headlight is actually burnt or actually loose. I don't think it's burnt. I think it's just the wires broken off of it. But right now, that's my red glow. This looks cool in the snow.
I bet.
When you go outside in the snow, and this looks really cool. Actually, I'm not showing the right camera. There we go. Sorry, guys. I wasn't showing the right camera to you guys. Send to everyone. So, like I was saying, I do have a light bar. That's in the front. That's a 12-volt light bar. So I run it directly on the battery. This one does run on the truck power. I do have signal lights, but they don't blink. They just there as yellow. And that's my color. And then as I'm driving, or depending on the mood, I like green, blue, so I can actually change the colors.
You have more light facing the ground than you do in front of you.
That is correct. And when you're crawling, you'd want to know where your tires are.
That's very cool.
So, but this is bright enough that it's pretty bright when you're driving around. It lights up in the front. I do have a couple other ones like this that I'm thinking I'm putting on top, but right now it's bright enough.
That is quite nice.
So let me go turn on the lights again. So how many hours do you have in that trailer?
About 20 right now, 26, 27, somewhere around like getting close to 30.
Cool. And you buy your styrene in full sheets or in small sheets?
In full sheets.
Full sheets.
4x8.
Okay.
For $12.
Okay.
And then I just cut to the size I need.
Cool. I went to Gervais Electronics, an electronics store here, and I got these little, they're kind of rectangle, but I got these for the brake lights. So they're small, they're rectangle. They already kind of came in
a case.
In kind of a case, yeah. But what I like about my car is that when I hit the gas, see they dim? Wait, yeah, they're dim right now.
Yep.
When I let go of the gas, it's like I hit the brakes. As soon as I let go of the gas, they come bright. It's like a brake light.
That's cool. So. Might have to get you to send me a couple of those. I would paint those.
Paint what? Black. You mean underneath here?
Yeah, the little case.
Yeah.
Comes in.
Yeah.
I'd just paint that black so it looked more like an actual case.
Yeah. I got my little RC truck car at the back of my truck. And what I did at the back here, this is a chain I use for a pull rope, but I actually got a magnet underneath here. So I use this chain to pull myself out, and when I'm done with it, I just drop it on the truck, and it basically stays there with the magnet.
This was my first wiring attempt. A friend of mine gave me these off the front of his Pontiac.
Cool. Yeah, those are exactly the same kind of LEDs, but mine are the RGB version of what you got.
Yeah, and I just wired it into a receiver port.
Yeah.
This was on a wing, actually.
Okay.
So
cool.
It was actually pretty bright. But now, my favorite little lighting kit, the same lighting kit I have in my SCX-10 in my Toyota body, is this one from RC 4-wheel drive.
Okay.
Now, this one, see the part number?
Part ZE0016, okay.
Yep. So what this one has is 4 headlights, 2 amber signals for the front, and then it's got all reds for the back, so you can put them in your signal lights for your back, and 2 in your tail lights on each side, and it's all plugs into one port. So for $24.99, $25. pretty good little kit.
Cool.
But one thing I was wanting, what I'm trying to look up right now is all your lights go into your body and then, or underneath your body. So when you take your body off, you have this mess of wires that you have to connect to your chassis, unless you have a power supply on your body.
Mm-hmm.
What I was trying to figure out is a way that you can actually make a power point connector, like the same way you'd have your magnets connect to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And that you could use something along that line, so you have 0 wires. So when you take off the body, it breaks the signal, and then when you
Yes.
put it back on, it makes the signal.
Yes.
You seen
So
those?
yes, I've seen those from well, got a blank.
Yeah, I know what actual plug.
Well, it's kind of weird because you have there's multiple pressure points that you can have, but it's from Asia Tees. They have it.
Oh, then I gotta stop looking. I was actually researching how to wire it.
Oh yeah. No, they have the kit for it. Actually goes right where your posts are, or attaches close to where your posts. So when you put your posts, it acts like a magnet and actually holds it down also. But it works pretty good.
Next time I won't research anything. I'll just send you an email.
Another way I thought of doing it is by using a DB9 connector. So it's a DB. Do you know those DB9 connectors I'm talking about?
I've seen them.
Yeah. So they're like a square. It looks like a VGA connector. It's HD15, just got more pin. But when they give you, you can actually squish them together and it actually holds. And it's a pretty good connection. I actually thought of using that. So when you come down on your 2 body post, you just finish pushing down. You line up with your body post and you finish pushing down, and it should make a connection.
Posts too on the back.
Yeah.
That way your post would hold it in place, and then you could. Yeah, that'd be cool. And those are easy to waterproof too.
It's called Boom Racing. Let me put that up. Share. So see, they have this board. It's 2 boards that actually goes together, and these posts goes right where your body post goes.
Oh, I like that.
So, and then you have your first signal, your second signal. So this is done for lighting. This is done for a whole bunch of different stuff. So here, let's play the video real quick. See how the body post here is at the front. So there you have the how it is at the front with the, and see here's a big magnet.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where everything would be connecting.
And keeps it lined up.
Yeah, it keeps it lined up. So I don't have the audio up right now, but if you go on the Boom Racing, and I'll give you the part numbers.
Man, that is slick.
And see, those are actually push. They actually push in. That's where it makes connection.
Yeah, and they're nice and beefy too, so they're going to take the abuse of a body going on and off a lot of times.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's the way to go. That'd make for a really nice, clean setup.
So there's no wire. There's the other one on top with the connections.
Oh, and they just touch that. That's it.
Yeah. So he turns on his car, drops the body on, and then all the lights are on. There's his light bar in the front heights. So it's pretty good. It's $27 Canadian. So that's a pretty good street price. It's just US, it's going to be less than that. But there's a different model for the SCX10, and there's a bunch of different ones also that actually comes with it. So there's another video here that talks about it.
There
And
one
here are the
4-wheel drive.
I can't remember for which body they make it from. I think it was 2 or 3. The mount are made to fit the actual SCX10, SCX10-2, Traxxas TRX4, and other chassis also can be modified to do. So there's ways to modify it, but basically it's more where that plate is going to be screwed onto your truck.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
Is that a switch?
Right. Yeah, it looks like a switch, eh?
It does look like a switch.
I don't know.
Very cool.
I haven't read the spec on it, or I want to pick one up and give it a try. But for the price, it's pretty hard to beat. So
yeah, and all the work's done for you.
Yeah, there's a bunch of videos there. There's a bunch of stuff. Part number 4, that they call it the Boom Racing Stealth Wireless Magnetic LED Body Mount.
And
So
just send me the link in chat.
Okay. Facebook, Troy. See, everybody sees our chat now. Nothing to hide here.
Uh-oh.
Send.
Oh, they can see all the pictures I sent you.
Yeah, all those nasty pictures.
Oh, horrible. RC porn right there.
So there we go.
Is Keegan in chat tonight?
He didn't say, but I did send him a link for it.
Can you tell if he's watching?
Steve is on. Kneeker, Grants RC, Michael Burgess, Percy VHX, and Tony. No, I don't see him. Steve the Clark is there. There's a whole bunch of people there. There's been a lot of chats. A lot of people talking about different stuff.
Yeah, I can't see the chat for some reason.
Oh, yeah. When you have this window open, it's kind of tough, so it's hard to see the chat. But Steve says a subscriber sent him a whole bunch of LED lights, bar, and connectors today in the mail.
Oh, right on.
They are for the wheelchair, for a night. They're to decorate his wheelchair. Cool.
Well, he'll be the brightest guy rolling down the street.
Yeah. People are really going to notice you. Yes, it is playoff hockey. I meant to actually watch the game too, and it started tonight at 8 o'clock. How are my Canadian team doing, the Winnipeg Jets, right now, Tony? Guess I could go in. Yeah, earlier I was kind of screwed up on the chat. I was locked on you, so it wasn't locked on my screen when I was showing up stuff. So Martin was actually trying to call me. Oh, Winnipeg Jet 3-1 over the Predators. 13 minutes 27 in the third. Good. Hopefully the Jet wins tonight. It's going to be the Winnipeg Jet versus the Golden Knights. My son takes for the Golden Knights. I picked the Winnipeg Jet this year since the Sens are out. So for the urban night crawl, I'm thinking of bringing the my truck. but this guy. So it should be kind of cool. Should be bright enough. There's a guy tonight. He had one of his RC at the event, and man, did he ever have a bright light bar on his car. Can't remember the name brand, but I'll find out and I'll post it. But
One too
it's
many
one.
cars.
Yeah, one too many RC. Man, that thing is friggin' bright.
I've seen a lot of different light bars, but I've never seen anything brighter than his.
Yes.
They are insane.
Like I turned off all the lights in the events where we were at, and they just like he just lit up half that room where he was actually pointing that light, which is crazy.
Yeah, I've seen different ones running on 2S, and then I've seen one of those running on 2S, and it looks like it's on 3S.
Oh yeah.
And put it on 3S, if you're not using a BEC or running it off your receiver, holy crap, that thing's just insane.
He was actually running it on 3S tonight, so it was friggin' bright.
In daylight, you don't want to look at those things.
He had he's got a 3D printer, and he's been going crazy 3D printing anything and all kind of different stuff. He actually print himself a canoe, not a canoe, like those aluminum boats.
Oh, right on.
So he printed one of those, and I actually put it on my car, and took some pictures of it. But man, it was, and he's printed the 3D motor also. So it was
Did
just.
he put an electric motor in the outboard though?
Yeah.
Did he put an electric motor in the outboard motor he printed though?
Yes. So there's the boat. There's a 3D printed motor, and all the electronics, the motor was in it. Everything is working. He even had the receiver. The only thing he showed me the battery for it. He says it works. So he was about to go test it, but I actually posted it there, and then here's the motor. So that was kind of sweet.
That's a nice little boat. And it's so nice to see something other than a kayak or a canoe.
Yes. Like he's got a servo in there, and it's just crazy how he's built this, and it's all 3D printed. It's kind of fun when you think all the stuff you can do with 3D printer.
Yeah, I think I'll still stick with this.
Yeah. Well, I got to do light buckets for my Tonka truck, and I brought it over tonight just to show it off. But I got to do the light buckets, and I thought of doing the styrene for the light buckets. It's going to be pretty easy, but the only problem I have is for the round headlights. I'm debating, okay, how the heck am I going to do a cone or something that is round for the LED socket?
Well,
so I got
what I would do, Tank, is I would take like these are going to be some bottles for a welder, and that's just hollow styrene.
They're what?
That's just styrene tubing.
But that's a big friggin' tubing. I never seen that before.
Oh, geez, yeah. That's it right there.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna have to measure and see if I can get a styrene big enough.
What you did here is like they don't make nice round caps, right? So all I did there is I stack up the styrene on layers, and then I sand it down. I cut it on an angle, and then I sand it, and then spin it and sand it. So what you could do is you could do the same thing. You could stack up a whole bunch of styrene, and then you could take one of the those round Dremel balls, sander one for a Dremel ball. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then just sand slowly into it, and then that'll give you your nice bowl shape for your light bucket. then you drill a hole in it, and then boom,
Mm-hmm.
put that behind your like pretty, wouldn't take too long, not
Mm-hmm.
with a Dremel,
Cool.
but that would work beautifully.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check at my local hobby where they sell styrene if they have that size of rod or styrene.
Evergreen, just go to the Evergreen site and look up styrene tubing.
Evergreen website, you mean?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
What did I say?
No, you just said Evergreen. I don't know what Evergreen is.
Oh, that's the Evergreen Scale Modelers.
Oh, okay, okay. Where they make that one? Okay, yeah.
Yep. So I've got stuff here that's that thick. I've got other stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I've got smaller tubing than that, but I never seen the big one like you have. How they come in what length?
Oh, about that long.
Okay, even the big one, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, here's a big one that I haven't cut. It's like
Okay.
the biggest McDonald's straw you've ever seen. But yeah, this stuff's great. And you got stuff that small that
Yeah.
I could barely pass a wire through.
Yeah. Steel's the Steve. Yeah. Yeah, Pittsburgh is out, Steve. They were eliminated earlier on. So Pittsburgh is out.
So I sent a message to Chris from GCM. Didn't get
Okay.
a hold of it yet, or I don't know if he responded to it. He didn't respond to it yet, but I did send him a message. But
Okay.
he's got something from at the shop that I want to pick up really quick, so I can install this bad boy.
Okay, so you bought yourself a 3D printed engine, and that's for your little red beast.
That's for my little red beast.
Why don't you show your little red beast since you're still in presenting mode?
Oh, am I? All right.
Yeah, I put you on presenting mode and I forgot to take you off again. That's
Oh,
not a red beast.
no, this is the red beast.
It doesn't look red.
No, because the body's right here. I was just cleaning it off.
So you actually ordered and got the RC four-wheel drive. Which model do you call that again?
This is the Marlin Crawler.
Marlin Crawler, that's it.
I took the body off because I'm going over there's mold lines here.
Okay.
And I'm starting to sand that down. And then I'm going to take this all apart and I'm going to cut the hood out. Redo the interior. So it's at that stage right now where I've had a lot of fun playing with it, and I've rolled it 3 times. So now it's time to give it a body job so I can, have it sit and cure for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But
now, when you look at that body, don't you find it thinner than the original Yoda body? You ever had the other one?
Nope.
No? Because that body is thin compared to the original.
Well, here's the original.
Yeah.
And here's this one, and they're the exact same size.
No, I mean the thinner. The product is thinner. Because when you hold it against a light, you can actually see through the red one, but you can't through the other one.
Oh,
The material seems to be thinner.
Yes, the actual thickness of the plastic, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does seem a little bit thinner, but it also seems to have a lot more give.
Yes, it does.
Which is good for it's not going to crack as easily because it'll bend and resist cracking. It makes it also really nice for us guys that like to scratch build everything and cut things out of things and put new things on. I'm not cutting through stuff that I wish I had a power tool for. But my friend has a shop in the town not far from me.
Okay.
It's just a pawn shop, but he started getting into RC, and he's starting to bring stuff in, and he started carrying RC four-wheel drive.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cool.
I told him that I wanted this really, really bad, and he said, "Well, he'll check all the time, and it's always not available." He called me up one day and he said, "Okay, you got it just about completely paid off, and it's actually in. My supplier has 3." And I pulled the trigger, and on April 27th, I got it.
Cool.
And that was 4 days after I pulled the trigger of
Nice.
him saying he has it and his supplier had it to him in that time. His supplier only had 3, but all the websites still said unavailable.
Okay.
So I don't know how he got it, but he did.
Did you check it out on the trail yet?
Oh yes. Yeah.
So how different do you find it than the other one?
Okay. I kind of feel like someone, where this is my second kind of, let's say, like scale rig. My axial SCX-10-2 I thought that was absolutely insane, and I love it for everything it is. And I also hate it for everything it isn't. But everything it showed me and brought me into the hobby for just made me want more and more and more. Now, with this thing, with all this scale goodness,
Yeah, with the leaves and all that.
with the leaves and the drivetrain, it's the only thing that I feel that I'm gonna upgrade on this is move my servo to the front, get rid of this transmission, get the one from GCM,
Yeah.
so I can mount my motor, and then this will be scale, and then I'll run, because that motor has the exhaust manifold on it. I'll actually run the exhaust all the way back, and I'll put a real, it'll just be so much more I can do with it.
Yeah. And you can actually cut the hood off of that truck, eh? A lot of people have taken a knife and just go over the edge real quick. Well,
yeah, that's what I did for that one.
okay.
That's on the orange one. That's where I cut it, because that's where my battery is, and I didn't want to be taking that body off on and off all the time.
Yeah.
So I just cut the hood off. But this has impressed me. The fact that it's all steel.
Yes, it is. It's nice and heavy.
It's fucking gorgeous. And the thing that shocked me more than what it could do, because all the videos I was thinking, keep seeing all these videos where they're like, yeah, well, it's not going to handle and it's not going to drive and it won't be as capable as a linked setup. So I was kind of expecting it not to perform very well. But it went everywhere my friends went with their other crawlers, and in a couple of places it went up with no problem at all, and they had problems. I think because of the scaleness of it, it actually reacted. I drove it more like a real truck, and it handled and went up where others didn't. So I am really, really liking this. I'm gonna put real scale brake lines on it and brakes and
Cool.
the whole thing.
Well, I hope you're going to keep the leaf springs on it and not turn it into a truck with links instead.
Oh no, it's staying leafed.
Good. Because that's what I did with my TF2, and then also my TF2, it does some places outperform my XCX10. I actually go on a steeper climb than my XCX10 with my Leafs chassis. I do a steeper climb than my Lynx.
Stays planted, right?
Hey?
It stays planted.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what surprised me. I really love these tires too. Like,
Yeah, they did a good thing for the tires for the Marlin crawler.
and these the only thing that bugged me about what didn't come in the box was the actual little socket tool that you need to take these scale hardware off your bead locks.
Okay.
I just thought that'd be really nice to have. Especially if I want to clean it and take all these off and put some Loctite on them. That way I know it was done. But I love how grippy these tires are. They're great for the type of terrain I have around here. Going to move the ESC somewhere else because I am going to put a full scale interior into this with full floor right down to the frame rails. But it's a very nice rig. I'm very happy with it. I'm not going to put a body lift on it or anything like that. I like the way the body sits on it right now. That's the way I'm going to keep it. Yes, the only thing I modded on this whole thing was just put my battery connector on it.
The lug nuts that are around that wheel, are they hex?
Yes, they are.
Take a screw. Take one of your 3mm screw, and any type of 3mm screw you have, and use the button head or use the head and try that on that. Because that's what some people do. They take a screw like this, they put it in a small little drill, and you can actually use a screw to take those out. So it's actually 1.5 or 2mm, I think. Let me check. 2mm.
I gotta get a smaller one.
It's a hex, but it should be 2mm unless you have the 1.5. Not sure which one it is.
These are 1.7. I have that screw in my toolkit. I'll have to get that out later.
Yeah, Grants RC says, my cousin just bought a Komodo, and I'll take my Beast SCX10 over his Komodo. I agree. Out of the box, the SCX10 is a better truck than the Komodo. The Komodo has, you need a lot of upgrades on it to make it perform better. But it's not a bad truck. It's not a bad trail truck. But I find the SCX10 is a better than the Komodo.
Well, I'm a fan of Axial too, but doesn't the Komodo come with like the ready to run version? Doesn't it come right out of the box in a droop setup?
I'm not sure.
I think it does, and I think what it also does is it gives you the option to go from droop to a regular setup. So it has,
yeah, but still, the way it performs, the way the transmission is, the way the geometry of that truck. I've drove it here, and me myself, I didn't like it. I'd rather drive my TF2 or my SCX10 than the Komodo. That's my preference.
I'm an RC 4-wheel drive fanboy now.
Oh, they got some nice trucks. Yeah, that's for sure. But driving the Leaf, it's complete different style of driving. And driving a Link truck is completely different style also. You'll notice when you go on side hilling, when you're coming on the side, your truck won't have the feeling of actually, because you have less flex, it won't want to tip. So you can actually do a little bit better side hilling if you go really slow. There's a whole bunch of different features you can do. The only drawback you'll have is when you go on rocks or big droop or big hills and then big holes and for your suspension to actually travel over it, your wheel won't drop. But what you'll notice is that your wheel is going to float, so it's actually
Right.
going to go over that hole. So that's kind of cool.
I just have to take different lines.
Yes, you do. You
What a,
you
what a friend
completely
of
have to
mine
drive
did.
it differently, but it's a fun drive.
It's funny because a friend of mine, when he was down here, we had a bunch of people running on my course last Saturday, and it was pretty funny. His buddy comes up to me, punches me in the shoulder, goes, "Finally, you have a truck that you can now match to the way you drive." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, you always drive like you have leaves, and now you have a truck with leaves, so no one has to wonder why you're driving the way you do anymore with an axial." Like I, it's like, oh well, okay, well yeah. So I drive like I should have been on leaves the whole time, I guess.
Mm.
So, but I love it, and I'm not changing anything on it until it breaks, except for the transmission, because I want to put my engine in it.
Oh, it's going to be a nice upgrade. You'll see with the transfer case and the way they actually do it. It's kind of cool.
I was looking on Shapeways, the engine bay that you can get for the styrene Toyota body.
Okay.
I was looking at that and thinking, will that work? I'm not sure if it will or not, but it didn't look like it had enough room. So I want it to look scale. So I guess I'm going to have to make my own inner fenders. So it looks even more scale. So I still have the room, because with the half plate top motor for that engine bay, it
Okay.
looks great.
Cool.
But this is one that'll wrap right around the whole can of the motor. So I want to do it up that way.
Cool. Some of the guys here, they have 3D printers, and it's pretty amazing the stuff they come out with. Like they have the like the power brake, that big ball with the power brake fluid. They all have that in their truck. They have a little tiny,
Cylinder.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have one too?
No, I don't, but I was going to
Okay.
make one.
Yeah, there's a guy that actually took styrene the other day, and he actually made one out of styrene. So you just pile a whole bunch of styrene together and shape it like a little ball, and you did the canister for the oil. Uh, it's it's really neat. If you don't have the 3D printer and you're good with your hands, you can actually make anything. But it's just the patience that some of the guys have is just amazing.
Well, the way I can sit down and stare at blank plastic and see something and make something out of that is the same way I see other guys just lost in a computer screen designing something.
Now, your buddy that made that, just gonna show. That's a light kit I got from Killer Body. Also, it's got 18 lights, 12 lights on this kit. This was the kit for the X01, the Traxxas X01, but I liked it the way the different lights they have. So that's the reason I took that one. But that one was pretty cheap also. There's a whole bunch of different light kits that you guys can buy for $20 or $25. So
Oh yeah.
just look on there.
Did you get that from our buddy from Asia Tees?
Yeah, I got this one from Asia Tees.
Nice.
So
Something
this is the
else.
light kit that I want to put on in the Winnebago. So
Something else I picked up the same time I picked up my truck was the actual multi-tool driver, and it has titanium bits, and I love this thing. I
cool.
don't know how I did it with that Canadian Tire piece of crap I was using before. And it's got the nice ends, so I can put that on any little drill.
Yes.
Get one that runs on double A's or something.
Me, the driver that I use a lot, it's the one from Dynamite, and it's the metal one. So, but what I like about these is you can just change the tip, and you just you keep the handle, and you just buy tips. So
Yeah.
it's the second It's the second one I actually put on this one. It seems that it's the 2mm I always use. So
Yeah, this one came with 7 bits inside the handle, and
cool.
it was expensive, but with how much wrenching I'm doing lately,
Oh yeah.
Just it was $54, but the amount of time that saved me compared to what I was using before is just night and day.
Okay.
Where these are titanium, I've wrecked bolts, but I've not been where I couldn't get it actually out. Like these things just eat it and keep going. And it's
Mhm.
magnetic too, so that's nice. New trail buddy.
Yes. What's nice with it is all the bits are in the handle, so you don't have to worry about did I bring the right bit or whatever. You just take it out in the trail, take the one you need, put it on, and there you go. Yeah, so here's my battery that I left in the truck. So it's 2200 milliamp, 2S.
Oh, scratched up.
Oh, oh yes, it is scratched up. Sorry, I'll present to everybody. So like this is an old battery. It's not even puffed up. I've used it for years, but it still charges up pretty good and going strong.
Well, what I was using in the SCX10 was these new
Okay.
Tattoo 2700s. The thing I liked about these is they're the exact same size as a Zippy 2200, but it's 2700.
Hmm.
So it fits in the same spot. And it's this thing, the edges of the battery are actually like square. And this thing
Cool.
has been just running uh, the SCX10. I find I can't go as smooth as I can with this one, with the Marlin. This one is so much smoother on startups, mostly because that's got an old DeWalt drill motor in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all wore out. But and that's brand new. So I ran 3.5 hours, and then kept coming uh, out on the trails, and then was helping out other people, and didn't even realize it was like 5 hours later before I was home, and this thing was still had enough juice to get me home. I had I had a spare in my pocket. Never pulled it out of my pocket.
Yeah, that's what nice with brushless. I mean, brushed motor. They'd last so much longer. They take less juice than the brushless.
And it's quiet.
Yeah.
My ESC makes more noise than my motor. But oh, there's something. An upgrade. I'm not running bolts on these wheels. You see that? My scale hub.
Yep. Nice.
It's 3D printed.
Aha. You guys are going 3D printed again. Going nuts on 3D printing stuff. That's nice.
Well, a friend of mine printed them out. Said, "Here, give these a try." They were too small. They weren't threaded, so just enough to bite. The thread was just enough to bite into the plastic. I couldn't run them on the SCX because my bolt was too long, and I didn't want to file it down in case I had a different rim that was, beefier. But these ones were the perfect size. So this is running plastic hubs, and the wheels have not fallen off. And I've got 7. How many days is it since the 27th of April?
We're the 10th now, so
A few.
yeah.
This is on every day since then.
So you've used your Marlin crawler more than your SCX10?
No, I used to run that every day too.
No, since you got the Marlin crawler, the other one has been sitting on the shelf?
Nope, my kid's been running it.
Okay.
She runs around with me. That's going to be pulling my trailer. And when I go to competitions and stuff like that, the SCX-10 is going to be pulling a flatbed. The flatbed's going to have the Marlin on it. And so I'll pull up with that, and then I can run either truck. So if I want to run 1.9s, then I can run 1.9s. If I want to do class 1, I can do class 1 because the Marlin's class 1 legal.
Why don't you show that trailer again that you're building, especially the base of it? I just want to see something and ask you a couple questions. So your buddy 3D printed that,
Yep.
And also the carriers and the way everything is for the wheel?
Yep.
Where did he get the file, or does he have the file, or is he willing to share that file?
He might be willing to share the file. He's going to be selling these trailers complete,
Cool.
like this, without the tires.
Yep.
But here's the cool thing: I can put my fist between here, and so it's got wicked clearance. But that's the regular size bolt on here. But when you look at it, it looks like it's got a drum brake on it, right?
Yep.
Well, inside that, on the hanger, on the tire itself, is 2 bearings. So it's got 2 sealed bearings on the shaft. So the wheel is not rubbing on the actual bolt.
Mm-hmm.
It's spinning on bearings.
Which axle is he using for that? Which metal pin? From which company?
He just picked up the hardware. It's the same size that would fit through any axial tire or any of the aftermarket tires. But these are my 155s RC 4-wheel drive stamped steel beadlocks.
Okay. But do you actually have a hex on that at the back of it?
Yes.
Okay. And how much is he thinking of selling those for?
I think he's thinking of selling them for like $60 without the tires.
Okay.
Because the whole frame is solid. All of the plastic is solid.
Mm-hmm.
And you get all the hardware and any regular wheel with the hex. Okay, so regular wheel, and there's what you get. Oh, sorry. And the bearings right there inside. If I take this off, there's your hex with your bearing inside. 2 of them.
Okay.
So that's your hex. That's what spins.
And he's got that on a 4mm bolt, I guess.
Yes. We just put we sleeve the bearings on O-rings or on washers, and then put a washer behind the nut, and then put the nut back on. But right now he's running his trailer using a set of the wheels that come with the TRX4 tactical version.
Okay.
And hey, Tank.
Hey, Tony.
Right, Tony. I called him Tank. Yeah. Sorry, Tony. I meant Tony.
Did Winnipeg win, Tony?
Oh yeah, they destroyed him. 5-1.
Cool.
They killed him.
Now it's going to be a fun morning then, tomorrow morning, when I'm going to be teasing my son and telling him the Winnipeg Jets are going to kick your Golden Knights. But he's going to say, no. But it's been crazy how the two teams have been playing.
It's impressive how the Golden Knights have done, though.
Yeah.
I've been listening. I've had it on.
Yeah. So you see how well this spins on the two bearings?
Nice.
That's nice. Still going.
Still going.
Still going, and it's still going.
There you go. It stopped.
Well, that's no good.
Yeah, I know. But
Gee.
it's horrible. But on the trail, it's like it's not even there.
Yeah, no drag.
Yeah.
Until you completely back up.
Have a good night, Earl RC or Alvin. He's going to bed. He's got an early morning.
Good night.
And Michael Montgomery saying morning all. Well, it's a little late for morning right now for us anyways.
So, Tony, you saw this?
I did. I saw the whole setup with the top you put on it and then the little sleeper area. Looks real good. Is it pretty lightweight?
Oh, yeah. It's really light. It doesn't even move the suspension. I'd have to put a freaking brick in there. But there's enough room that I can put a brick in there.
So you're going to do a full interior in there?
Nope. I'm going to give it to him with an empty shell, and he can put whatever he wants in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm making it look good on the trail. He can make it look good when you open the doors and look in.
Right.
I'm just giving him the empty space, and he can 3D print whatever he wants to put in there.
Cool. Oh, LRC says he's not going anywhere. Oh. Oh, no, it was Grant's RC that was saying that he was leaving. Sorry, Earl. I got all my people all mixed up, and I'm talking there and I'm trying to read there at the same time, and I'm getting mixed up.
Oh, my buddy retested this trailer setup behind his TRX4, pulling it around on the old course that we had last year for the Tough Truck Challenge. Only he was carrying just his trailer, just empty like this, with a whole bunch of rocks just taped to it and bungeed to it, and his was actually the suspension. You could actually see it was actually moving, and it looked wicked.
Cool. Oh, the suspension looks nice, and the way it's actually angled, if you get a branch or a tree or something on it, it looks like it's going to get out of the way. It doesn't look like it's going to hang up.
No, it deflects.
Yeah.
And because there's nothing right there, I can put my fist between there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it has pushed stuff out of the way, and he's actually, because it's so thick too, he's actually hit a rock and lifted the tire completely off and rubbed, and it didn't scratch the springs on the other side. So he put this thing through the ringer before he said, all right, this is the trailer.
Cool. Michael Montgomery says he's from the UK. It's like 4 a.m. right now for him. What the heck are you doing up? Or are you up just for RC Talk? That's the only reason you got up, right? You knew it was coming on, so you put your alarm on. You said, we got to listen to these guys. Yeah, right.
That's it. He loves the colonies.
Yeah, he just locked.
Yeah, he just logged off, didn't he?
He just said, hi, Tony.
How's it going? Trying to get this so I don't have to hold it. They were still at the TV watching when I logged in.
Cool. So, Tony, you're coming up with a whole marketing stuff there with your shirts and your cup warmer or beer coolers. So, why don't you show the people here what you got now? It's all about monster truck?
Huh?
It's all about monster trucks?
No, I'm actually going to move the stuff I had over at Spreadshirt.
Okay.
Over. I was working on one today that says, don't worry, I've got things under control. And it's just like an RC controller. So I've got a bunch of different designs I'm trying to work on. And yeah, we'll see. Um, it's kind of just low tech right now. Me and my little office and printing off these
Okay.
cutouts and then peeling them all with little tools, kind of like the dentist used to clean your gums and
Hmm.
peeling away. I got stickers, vinyl sticker machine. And so I'm basically doing, these are vinyl.
You're weeding all the decals.
Yeah, I'm weeding all the decals. I'm weeding all the shirts. So like a shirt like this, I mean, there's a lot of time into weeding that one out.
Hmm.
Um, so the Cloudbuster one's not too bad. I'm only doing the monster trucks right now because I'll have a market for it coming up.
Yes, that
And
makes
so
sense.
I'm just basically printing and weeding these, and I'm not putting them on shirts. The nice thing about these is that on the fly, I can just heat press them onto whatever size shirt somebody wants. And so I don't have to make them up in sizes ahead of time and hope to sell
Yeah.
them.
Yep.
So I'm just going to have a bunch of them ready to go that I can weed and put on and tell somebody I'll have it for them in 30 minutes or whatever. So and then these I'll just have a bunch of them ready to go.
Cool.
But hopefully help pay for my racing and all that I'm going to put in. I'm going to spend a lot of money being there for 4 days or so, trying to live stream all of it.
I really like the that rig you're doing backflips with today.
The zombie.
Yeah, that thing was wild.
Yeah, it's a really awesome truck. I broke it at the BMX trails on 4S. Really simple fix though. It's really just a kind of on the they have the upper arms to the diff barrier up front, and that had a pin brace or holder that would go through the arms, and it's just plastic, and I just snapped one off. So really, the brakes were very minimal. They look awful because the wheels are all like hanging out, but it's probably like a $5 fix, and 4 screws or something like that. It's not a big deal.
Did you do
Same
that
with the
from 3S to 4S?
Yeah, I went 4S. It's just the BMX trails are just kind of they're squirrely right now. I actually didn't have any fun doing it. I used to love going out there, but there's no easy approaches. Everything's kind of you got to weave your way around something and then try and gun it at the last second. And the faces are kind of crooked or they're not even at the top, and so you can never line it up the same twice. And so it's like every other one you're just praying that you don't break it because it goes flipping off the takeoff. So
Or
it just
like
wasn't fun.
I noticed a lot when you're jumping on those BMX trail, you jump, but sometimes you actually land on the tree on the side.
Yeah, I clipped the tree. Both of them I broke. I clipped that same tree.
Okay.
And in the one, if you actually watch it in the Instagram, I go down, I correct it left at the very base to line it straight up, and then as I go up, it shifts and it just goes off to the tree.
Pitched at the peak.
Yep. So it just something hit it and it just you can't control it. So it just isn't fun, and it's also just like you line up, you basically hold the car, set it down, or you just back it in up another hill in order to just try and straight shoot it. It's just not fun. It's not like in my backyard where I can just do continuous running for 10 minutes, jumping and flipping, and it's just a different. It's cool for the big air, but even then it's kind of frustrating. The X Max does it a lot better actually out there than the rest. It's much more planted, and those little movements in the terrain don't seem to alter it as much because it's just bigger. So it handles, and the AVC technology in the X Max is so good that it stays straight pretty well. But I also just do the bigger jumps with that too. So I'm launching it really high. And those are bigger, but I actually was avoiding those because I wanted to wait till the end to break it on those. I never made it to them. So
Cool.
anyway,
So
but yes, Tank, I'm working at my office is set up now 2 parts where I don't know how to do it, but over there I've got another table set up on the other side of my bench, and that's where I've got all the materials and the cutter and all of that, and This is my RC bench, and so I'll basically sit in that chair and just swing between the two workstations. And while one's printing and cutting, I'll flip around and work on something on this bench and try and maximize my time. The what?
Was the gray thing on the table across from you, was that the plotter?
Yeah, it's just a small one. It's a Cricut. It does 12 by 24 inch.
Nice.
So it's just a little home version for now. I've been looking at the bigger ones. I've worked in so my background, my dad owned a t-shirt shop in Michigan for 15 years, something like that. Started in our garage. And then when I moved to Virginia, I worked in one doing design work. So I've done this stuff a lot. The technology has just made it so much easier to just jump in and do this very basic stuff. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be able to make stickers to put either inside of car bodies. Like I can just print my logo in reverse now, stick it on the inside of a car, paint it, peel a sticker if I want and paint that, or just leave the sticker in there, paint over it.
Nice.
So it makes it easy to do things like that. And I was just paying people to do it before, and you get the cutter for, I think it's like $200.
It would have been so easier for me to do my Tonka truck if I would have had a vinyl cutter, and I could have.
Totally. I was thinking that as I was watching you cut it out. But yeah, it's been great. I love being able to make my own. I used to make my own stuff when my dad had it, and so it's great to be able to make my own stuff again, my own shirts and whatever. So I've been making for my boys and Harry Potter shirts and whatever.
After I finished painting my Tonka truck and I finished everything and showed it to everybody and showed it to Dave, Dave says, "Oh yeah, remember I do have a vinyl cutter. I could have printed you a vinyl and sent it off to you by mail." I go, "Now you tell me. Now you tell me. It's all done."
Yeah. Dave. Come on, man. He was watching earlier. I saw him in the comments.
Yes.
I'm trying to pull it up now to see if they're still commenting. But
well, yesterday afternoon, he texted me and he was talking to me. He goes and send me pictures of his setup and videos of his setup at his new house. He goes, "There's my computer room. There's this. There's where I'm going to work my music and so on." So he says, "I'm all ready for RC Talk tomorrow night. I'm going to jump on and I'm going to talk." So I replied to him, "I'll see it when I believe it. I'll believe it when I see it." Sorry.
Right.
And then he started laughing, and he's not on tonight, so I don't know what he's doing. So
he was on earlier.
For him.
Yeah, he was on the chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that yours?
I believe it. Make that for a tank. Make him a hat.
Make a hat for what?
I'll see it when I believe it.
Right.
I'll see it when I believe it. I'll believe it when I see it.
We've got
one of those two.
Dave says, "I am here, LOL." So he is there in the chat. He is listening. So we can't talk behind his back right now. We got to be quiet a little bit.
Sure, we can.
Oh yes.
We just ignore the chat.
Yeah, because he can argue and say things and all of that, but that's going to be in the chat, not in the audio, because he was supposed to be ready on the video side. But
well, he's too busy giving people virtual tours.
Well, it looks like that. He's saying he's unpacking. He's in between rooms, unpacking and watching.
I'm guessing he hasn't got his honey-do list done yet.
Or maybe he's between room with his honey, one or the other. So
yeah,
we've got a plotter at work. The rolls we get vinyl, all different colors, but they're huge rolls.
Yeah, like 36-inch by 20 feet or 12 feet.
Yeah, something like that. Where we got one roll that's 50 feet because it's because we use a lot of yellow at the shop. But
right.
But I'm just amazed the stuff that we could do with that. And before, where I was like putting stuff on glass and then shining a light through and drawing on it and then masking it out and then cutting it out by hand. Now I sit back and watch a freaking machine do it in like 30 seconds.
Right.
We have
Sometimes I still do that though, man, and then I scan that into my computer, and then I convert it to like I have it trace the design. Sometimes it's still just easier to do it going from that trace version, or I'll bring in an image like this is just the this is just a very popular company's monster truck that we will not say out loud, and I just took their image in and traced it, and then converted it to I took out a lot of the details, but then I just converted it to an Adobe Illustrator over to a vector image that I can resize however I want, plug and do the smoothing, which makes it more cartoonish, which I wanted. So, and then I did all the text, and then I also threw the text back through and traced all the text, so it'd be vector and it'd be locked in, but it also would take away any of the how they speckle all the fonts and stuff now to make it look grunge. Well, that's a pain in the butt to weed that stuff out. So I just like do a noise cleanup on it and vector it and smooth out the corners and make it easy on myself.
Yeah. See, I can't do all that stuff on I'm barely computer illiterate. And when I did a font for my wing, I show you, but I can't. It's at the shop right now. I did all the graphics for the top of it, and I cut all of it out by hand, and all of the fonts, I did it just from drawing it. And then my boss, my best friend there, he decides, oh, I really like what you've done there for the 73. And he took a picture of it with his phone, took it over to his computer, redrew it, and then printed me out yellow stickers of the exact same thing I did. It's like, oh, man, it was just so easy for him to just take his phone and then duplicate what I did. I'm like,
right. Yeah, well, there's Adobe Capture on the phones now. That can turn any image into a vector image right there on your phone. It's insane. But
okay, Tony, don't you tell him that.
Yeah. I was going back to the LED lighting thing that you guys were talking about earlier. I've still never hooked up the LED lights that I put in my SCX10, the angry eyes that I got for it. I bought the whole light kit and everything, and I actually wired the lights, but I never plugged them in. I don't know if I even put the box in to plug them into. But
did you see that one from Asia Tees that Tank showed me?
I don't think so. Oh, wait. Is that the one that you had with the padiddle on it where it's missing a light?
No. Oh. The setup where instead of having all your lights hanging from your body and then you have to plug it into your chassis and then put your body on. No, this one was like clean. You didn't have to attach anything.
Oh, the magnet one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is slick.
Yeah. I did see that.
So it's basically two plates that goes together, and it's a magnet.
So see, Tony, if you pick that up, you can put it into that rig. You put your lights in, but never put power through them.
Right. And then I probably just never attached that power to the...
Yeah.
You can have it all set and ready to go and make all these beautiful pictures on how easy it was to set up and how nice and clean it is.
Yeah, I wired it up.
Is the controller in there?
No. Nope.
So you installed all the lights?
The original controller's in there, but that thing stopped working a while ago. I just don't have the wire for it. We tried to make one and it didn't work. But yeah, here's the wire. I just have to put the controller in. And the controller's sitting down on my bench, I'm pretty sure. But I mean, it's all wired up in there.
Oh yeah, beautiful job.
Nice job.
So,
just doesn't work yet.
It might not work after I did my water run with it. So.
Oh, that'll be no problem. LED works as long as you didn't put water in the controller. You're good. The LEDs will work underwater.
Well, the controller's not in there, so I think I'm all right.
Yeah, good. Do you have any other trucks there that you have spots for lights but not put them in yet?
I have that light bar on the. Most of these don't have lights.
Well, no, here, Tony. I have
Gravedigger light.
Okay, well here I have a handful of actual single LED strands that I haven't used on anything yet. So I'm not using them. I could just send them to you, and you could just put them in something and never plug them in.
I mean, at least have the light bulb in there for scale looks.
Yeah, scale look. Yeah.
The other problem is that it just plays. I think it wreaks havoc on filming all the time. You get the little the flare that's going into the footage, and so I usually turn them off anyway when I'm filming.
Just take a hot glue gun and teardrop some hot glue, and then cut it, let it dry, and then stick it into the holes, and then there you go. You got a scale bulb.
There you go.
And no wires to mess with.
Yeah, I a lot of times I turn them off, like on the Losi and stuff. I'll just unplug them if I'm going to film, just because it wreaks havoc on the camera.
What do you use for a filter?
I don't use one. I just use my phone half the time.
Well, you can 3D print a lens cover for that, and then put all kinds of filters in it.
Oh, that's a lot of work for Tony.
Yeah, it's too much work.
All he's got to do is ask someone with a printer to do it for him.
I've got 2 printers in here. I still haven't done it. Then you got to design it.
Yeah. Steve DeClark is talking about his grasshopper build that he's got going, or he's going to be starting soon with other people. So they're going to be buying a grasshopper. Everybody's buying a grasshopper, and everybody's going to be building it, and hopefully everybody's going to be building it at the same time and posting videos at the same time.
I remember that when I was a kid. What a cool kid that was.
So I actually looked today online, and I was that close of ordering one. I'm there. Okay, it's 140 Canadian, I think, or 148 Canadian.
Yeah, that's not bad.
There. I go, okay, that's not bad. I only have to put the servo and a receiver into it, and I'm good. It's got the ESC, it's got the motor, all good. And there I go, I'm going to order it like that. I can do the build with them. So I'm there. I go, what the frig am I going to do with it? Like, I have a 2-wheel drive race buggy. I have my.
But to me, it's different. It's a whole different ball game. There's
but
fun factor.
Like, I got this guy. This is a RC10. This is a vintage one. That's another buggy I have. This one is kind of cool. I do have my Super Hornet, which is pretty close to the other one. It's got a bigger motor. But I'm there. What am I going to do with a second one? Like,
put it on the shelf.
Yeah, I could have put it on the shelf. I could paint it in an army shape, and put guns on it, or do it like a Mad Max thing. So I'm there. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool. But no, I didn't order it. So it was so close.
Steve's right. You do it for the fun of it. That's what it says. It's fun. That's why you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the build part. I'm with it until the build part. I'll buy an RTR one and open the box.
You'll buy an RTR one.
Take it out and play with it a little bit.
Oh, is that what? That's why you never got that through racing kit, isn't it, Tony? It's not an RTR.
Oh no. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I can build a scale truck, but the Tamiya ones, those are a whole different ball game. It's like putting together a model from being a kid, and it takes forever, and it glues everywhere, and that's why both of my Tamiyas up there are purchased beautifully made to look like their retro truck that they are supposed to be like.
My problem, Michael Montgomery is saying eBay LOL, like maybe buying on eBay is going to be cheaper. My problem right now is I live in Canada, and the Canadian dollar versus the US dollar is not good. So it ends up being more expensive if I actually buy it on eBay with shipping and all that than going to my local hobby store.
To their US dollar.
Pardon me?
Our 50-cent piece to their US dollar.
Yeah.
Tony's grinning at that for some reason.
eBay's just sketchy anyway to me. I'm always worried when I order something on eBay. I know a lot of people do. I'm such an Amazon Prime guy.
Okay, here you go. If you guys are gonna buy a Tamiya right now, you could get any Tamiya RC. What one would it be and why?
If I were to buy any RC, you mean, or what? The kit?
If you could get any Tamiya kit, what one would it be and why?
Does it have to be a kit?
No, there is expert built. They do have the expert built, just like I got Sebastien. His Ferrari is actually all pre-built and ready to go. You just put the battery in it and go.
Their new rally car looks really sweet that they just announced today or yesterday or
I
whatever.
don't think I saw that.
They have a sweet looking rally car.
It'd probably be that big rig there that it looks like a rig and it's got 6 wheels. That one would be kind of cool. It's like a monster truck, but it's got 6 wheel or 8.
Yeah.
I can't remember. That one would be sweet. I don't have one of those. The only reason I'd buy another car or a different car is because I don't have that car. That's the reason I didn't buy that 2-wheel drive buggy, is because I already have a Tamiya buggy, which is the Super Hornet, and I do have some pro racer ones, so I don't need another Tamiya one. But Attack, those Attack Tamiya Attack buggy, they call it,
yeah.
or the one that looks like a dune buggy to go on the beach. That one would be fun. That I don't have, and they're about the same price.
I'd get the Sandrail.
Oh yeah,
the Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah.
Just
it's
classic. And I've seen a lot you can do with them now too.
And Steve the Clark saying it's the truck I'm talking about is the Kong Head. It's called Kong Head.
Yeah. I would probably get the Bullhead. So it's basically like a clodbuster, but it's like a semi-truck looking one.
Yes.
But yeah, the clodbuster is just so much fun.
That's 6x6.
They're big.
Isn't it? The one you're talking about?
No, it's just looks like the Super Pete kind of. See, here's one. This might actually be my buddy's one.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
See, Tony, this
I think
is the
Shen
one
has it as well. Shen has this Bullhead as well.
This is the one I'm talking about, Tony.
Oh, yeah, the Kong Head. Okay, yours is the 6x.
So
yeah, that's cool.
This one would be
have that ordered for Tony pre-built.
I think they do have these expert built.
It would be a requirement. That's a lot of Tamiya axles right there.
Yes.
That's the worst part of the build.
Did you see the amount of gears that are on those 6x6s?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That's the worst part of the build.
Then like 16 per side. Like holy cow.
Can put a bus body on it.
I don't know that I'd ever finish it. That's the problem.
How would you drive it, Tony, knowing that there's
into the ground? No, I'm actually pretty good with these things. Other than, breaking it the first day I had one. Since then, I've been pretty good with it. I'll only jump if I have double ramps side by side. And typically now I want a backer ramp too. But, yeah, keeping it low, keeping it down. I don't know, Tank, did you see this one?
Hold on. Let me go to you. Which one?
The Bigfoot?
Yes. Yep.
So that's the latest one I got, and it's actually running dual servos. Instead of using one servo to do four-wheel steer, it's set up so I can click on and off the four-wheel steering.
Oh, nice.
Which is awesome. So I can hit the straightaways and go front-wheel drive or steer, and then at the corners I can go four-wheel steer to make a quick, sharp turn. But during the straightaways, I'll lock it out just with a switch. So it's kind of like the real monster trucks in that way, which is what I love. about it.
And who makes that?
The what?
Who makes that one?
That's a Clodbuster.
Tamiya Cloudbuster.
Yeah, Super Clod, and it's running just the Traxxas body on it because it's a super scale looking body. And then he's done some adjustments here so that the servos are axle mounted. So I think it's Crawford Performance that makes those mounts that just screw into your axles.
So
where you're already putting screws in.
You thought you were talking about this truck a little while ago, the Mad Bull. It looks like a monster truck, but it's like a buggy.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know if that's the one you were thinking about or talking about.
That's not the one that the
You're talking about the old school buggy, the VW, right?
Not me. I was earlier. Yeah, it's the
that one, the Monster Beetle.
Yeah, this is the Monster Beetle, but that's almost like that buggy. But this is a they have so many.
It's hard to keep track of them.
Yeah.
The beach buggy looking thing, not the Volkswagen.
The one I was talking about is this one, the one for the Fast Attack.
That's nice.
Come on, bring it bigger. Midnight Pumpkin. Wonder if I can't get it bigger. I was going to try to get a bigger image. This one is not good. See, so this is the buggy I wouldn't mind getting, the Fast Attack. Just because it's like a war buggy and it's kind of cool.
I like the rally version of it.
Yeah.
Third picture over.
Yeah. The one I was talking about is this one.
There you go, the beach bug.
Yep. Tamiya, the Sand Rover. It's called the Sand Rover.
Mm-hmm.
This is a nice one. This is another.
They had another name for that, didn't they? That was like kind of had a little figure in it. That looks just like that one. That one, the
no, this is. Yeah, this is from Tamiya.
That's the new one.
The Kumanon.
Yeah, that just came out.
That's a weird.
That's what that other one looked like to me, is the Kumanon.
What's the name of that rally one you were talking about, Tony?
I just saw it on there.
Write rally and see what comes up.
Tamiya Rally. I just had a picture of it. I don't know if it's hasn't pushed over to my stream yet. I posted it to a Facebook group, a rally one, so I can get the link there. It was next to the full size, the 1-to-1. So
okay.
Oh, nice. Like what they did with the Bruiser way back when.
I think it's this link. Yeah, here we go.
RC
Rally Cars group.
You have a name?
Everything's running so slow.
I wonder why. You're streaming.
Here it is. New kits. The Toyota Gazoo Racing WRT Yaris.
Oh, nice.
See, that's the little one.
And it's a Toyota.
Yeah. Super slick looking.
Oh, it's on the TTO2 chassis.
Is that a 10 scale?
Looks like it. See how small it is next to the full size here?
Well, that's a small car too, so.
I don't know. I think they said it was. Just right up says 1/10 RC. Yep.
Very cool. What's the sticker?
Doesn't say. Yeah, I don't see a sticker price.
Yeah, they made a whole bunch of different ones. Like I see here, Toyota Corolla. There's Toyota Celica. Um, that looked like a new one. I don't know when that's going to be out. So two. I think it's this one. Let's see. Share. The Tamiya Gazio Racing TDR 86 on the TTO2 chassis.
That's cool.
RC Mart has it. Website is this one.
Oh, that's it? Well, that's kind of it.
That's not the same.
No.
That's an older body.
That's a coupe, and the one Tony showed us was a hatchback.
Yeah. There's so many different ones. But you got to be careful. The TTO2, you might have rocks in those in the steering like you used to, because the TTO2 is not
the low bell and crank steering that they have in them. Hey, Steve was asking for a link. Did you post a fresh link for him?
A fresh link for to log on? Oh, yeah.
He was looking to join in.
Oh, sorry. There is no more joining in at this time. I'm not accepting any more people joining in at this time. Sorry, Steve. You should have logged on earlier. I'm just kidding. Hold on. Copy, close. So in the chat right now, sir.
There it is.
Gentlemen, there's a link.
That's it.
Yeah, that's sharp looking.
So this is on their Tamiya blog. I found it. Can I get a bigger picture? No, of course not.
Hey, Tank, so I tried our little trick that we talk about and like to use on my low-C today, and it did not work.
And which trick
tried flipping the gears on my servo.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because of the AVC or what, because I think it just kept spinning the gear all the way around when I get it going. It was really weird, but I couldn't get it to a point where I wasn't catching the little part that was chipped out. You know, you'd think you'd only use 80% or 180 degrees of that, any of the gear in there, but it just kept spinning it where I'd find a spot in my left steering that I would catch that, and you could hear trying to connect.
Well, it could spin all the way around too, while it only moves it, 40%, depending on.
Yeah, it depends which gear is actually stripped, because if it's the bigger gear, that one does not go all the way around. If it's a smaller gear that's stripped, those usually do go all the way around.
Like 3 times to the one big one.
Yeah.
Right. It was a big one in the middle, so I had the sides, so it was like a center one. But
so
it was interesting.
You can tear apart a servo and re-gear it, but you won't do a kit. That's funny.
I don't mind like undoing something and I don't mind upgrades.
Seen instructions on how to do something with a servo that it wasn't meant to do.
Right.
But I've seen all kinds of kits with instructions, and I see you can read.
Well, I'm a man. I don't like instructions. If I could tear some apart and look at it and say, well, I bet if I spin this gear, I'm only using this much of my, throw, I should be able to, find a sweet spot in that gear that's not chipped. I took that thing apart several times and started it in different spots. I mean, I spent 2 hours working on it, but
turn it into a servo winch.
Yeah. So it's a huge. I mean, it's a 5th scale servo. It sucks. It's expensive to replace. So I was doing anything I could to try and save it. So I shouldn't be drifting the streets at 45 miles an hour. Drift through the corners on our asphalt and
Did you
gunned
get it
it.
on tape?
Huh?
Did you record it?
No. I had a friend over. I was just showing off. So.
Well, then you definitely should have been doing that.
Yeah. But at that speed and having to hit the brakes, I really can't film at the same time because you're limited on your finger movement when you're holding the controller. And
you get your buddy over, so
camera.
he could have been filming it.
He could have filmed it. Yeah, now that you mention it. Yeah, but I was, hard braking and just breaking it free and then gunning it. And I gunned it and I drove it straight into the curb.
Okay.
Luckily, I expected the whole front end to be torn apart, but it didn't. It just chipped, about a 1/16 of the gears off the servo, one of the gears and the teeth off it. And other than that, it seems to be perfect. I mean, I'm bashed out like that. I just turn right.
So in the chat, I just posted a link for that Tamiya car, that rally car, that TT02. So if you guys want to check it out, it's on the Tamiya blog. It's really cool. The back wing of that car is just stupid. It's just crazy how they made that wing. Let's see if I can show it real quick. But you do see on this blog, like Tony was showing, here's the wing on the 121 car. It's like a double wing, and it really sticks out a lot. A small car is actually made exactly the same way. So it's really neat what they've done.
Stupid amount of downforce.
Yeah. So how it's going to act in the dirt, I don't know. But here's the mini one, and you see it's actually a double wing. It sticks it out at the back a lot.
Yeah, I wish they showed the inside of the car.
There is nothing on the inside. I mean, nothing. You mean which chassis and all that?
Yeah, just if they did anything extra to try. Cause, I mean, it's crazy.
I don't know.
If it's a rally car, you'd want to have some protection against the rocks and the dirt to be able to go off road.
But see, I see the TT02 here. It is TT02 chassis.
Oh, there's the chassis. I didn't see that picture. You're right.
But exactly what
that steering looked like, it is. We're just get stuck in it.
Yeah. If they did anything to hide it or whatever, it looks a little different. It looks a little busy here. There's a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But until they release it and show better pictures of it.
Yeah. There's pretty high walls right there too. Half the problem with the car that I had was the way that the body was. I mean, the body was just throwing the stuff in to that area. I mean, that's what they could use, is they could use little flares inside the body to block it.
Mm-hmm.
Next time, if I did it again, I'd probably use tape or something to make like a ridge.
Okay.
That would meet with the body, when you put it in, just to try and deflect some of the rocks from getting in. Just make a little tape loop that would go on the chassis and just kind of tape it to itself.
Yes, and another thing
I've
used in the past, because we did that a lot with the Traxxas Slash, the short course truck, because the wheels are inside, so you always got rocks, you always got stuff on there. They used to sell a net that actually went on top of that, and you put Velcro and you just like squeeze everything. So a cheap way of doing this is you use stocking. So a lady's stocking, you just take the stocking, you take scissors and you cut it, and then you just glue it to the side of it, and it stops all kind of rocks from getting in there. So it works pretty good.
I've seen Velcro too on those. Using Velcro to hold it down.
Yep. You put a double-sided, you take the Velcro that's sticky on the side, and then you stick that on to the truck, and then you can take the Velcro off and put it back on. What's nice with the stocking, it actually stretch, and it hides it. It hides it a lot. So it's
that sounds like a poor man's dusty motor shroud.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you guys were
They are
talking
helpful.
about the LED lights. I wanted to show you what I got sent today because maybe somebody can help me figure this stuff out.
Oh, for your chair?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I got this huge box delivered today, and I got an email saying that they wanted me to put these on the chair, and that, like, it's this one. I guess they got different modes to them, like LED rapid scan, where it's got 24 different colors, and it's got this like remote to it here, and then like I don't know where I'm supposed to plug it in. It's got like a cigarette lighter type deal in the back, and then I got another packet that's just like it. It says plug and glow, and then I got this big box, which they look like old school like fog lamps type deal, but LEDs. And
those are gonna be really good on your wheelchair.
yeah, it shows picture in the back, and it shows like them on the cars, like vehicles, and they look pretty bright. But I mean, they sent me like some of this tape and stuff, and other different wires, and I don't know, no instructions though. Besides, maybe there's some inside these little boxes.
There is some inside. Those are basically 12 volt lights. So they will work on a 3S. Let's say you have a 3S, they will work with a 3S RC light, no problem. You just control them and put them onto your cart, your chair, I mean, and your chair basically has 12 volt also batteries on it. You could actually use the voltage of your battery of your car.
Yeah, that's what he said on the email, was to use my battery that I have on the chair. And like I'm reading on the back, and it says 12 volt power options, plug in or hardwire. So I guess I could plug it into the battery to this thing and see how it goes.
Yeah, and you can't really screw them up in the sense that it is DC power. So if you rewire it backward, it probably won't light up. So just flip your two wires on the other side, and it will light up. Right. It's pretty easy to set up.
You could probably install a plug pretty easily too. So you have an auxiliary plug.
Oh, okay.
And then on the line that you install an auxiliary plug, and then on your hot line or your ground line, put a switch so you can actually manually turn it off. So it's not running power from your battery at all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that module there with the wheel, that's to change color. And it probably has different themes on it. So it probably has blink. It probably has a whole bunch of different settings on it for you to change, and like not make disco, but almost like making a strobe or whatever. So that it's just different settings and different lighting schemes.
Yeah, because it does have the different like colors in the wheel here, and it says mode, and then it does say over 100 combinations of scan modes and colors to create personalized lighting experience. So
yeah, we're gonna have to hook up some hydraulics to that chair of yours.
Oh, it's got a hydraulics that they're real slow, goes back and forth, but maybe a sound system too, huh?
Yeah, the disco lights.
This one looks like it has a remote control to it, so
yeah, some of them do have remote controls. They're sometimes optionals.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's actually, it says plug and glow accessories also available to enhance your experience. So I don't know if it comes with it. It might be something you got to upgrade to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was pretty cool. So I'm gonna send those to me. I was pretty happy about that. I just got to figure out how to put them on. I mean, like with sitting in the chair, I'm gonna need someone to help me. Put them, like tape them on or whatever. yeah, they'll see me coming now.
Oh yeah.
Where do you live, bud?
Right outside Detroit, Michigan.
Too far for me to come over and give you a hand.
I do have one friend that comes over on Wednesdays that we do the RC thing, and he should be able to give me a hand. He's a pretty cool guy. Cool guy.
Yeah, there's a few of those around. Cool guys.
Cool guys. Yeah, I did. It was funny because before I got the email, I had just ordered a bunch for my RC cars, and then I had bought some of those 9-volt battery things. That's where I guess it's got an on-off switch, and you just throw a 9-volt battery in and wire the LEDs right to that for your underglow on your RCs or whatnot. So LEDs everywhere.
Yeah, it's similar to the LED I put on mine, but mine I did like two years ago or 2.5 years ago.
Hank, plug yours in and show them.
Pardon me?
Plug your truck in again and show them all the modes from underneath your truck.
Oh, that's a lot of work at this time.
You have it plugged right into like your battery lead, your positive on your battery?
Yes, I'm running at 12 volts right now. Well, if I have a 12-volt battery, I'm running at 12 volts. If I run a two cell, I'm running at 7.2 volt.
Right. Does it make a difference? I mean, in brightness?
A little bit, but not much.
Okay.
I've got them for my TV that run that way, just off the USB, and then they use a 3M backing tape that just pins it around. It does like the glow on the wall.
Oh, sweet.
It's just off a USB, and it's pretty bright for running off the TV USB.
So when you're going to see my strips of lights, they're basically the same strips you got, but I actually cut mine. If you look at your strips, there's actually places that you see like little scissor marks. Those are the place where you can actually cut the strips, and you can cut them down.
Yeah, I seen it on the box that says you can cut them to size.
Yeah. Where my battery?
And you can put them underneath your armrest and underneath your battery pack, and
yeah,
just be pimping everywhere you go.
So if I go back to my other camera, where's my Logitech? Okay. So, and I painted mine black, so I repainted. I put, well, it's liquid tape that I put all the way around, but these were waterproof. But I cut them down as short as I could. But every single one of these have 3 lights in there. There's 3 red, green, blue. And I got them on this module that actually turns on and off the lights, which is on my 3rd channel, I think it is. But let me put the camera down again. And I got a 2S and a 3S. But this is 3S right now. So when I hit the remote, it actually turns on my lights.
Nice.
I hit it again, I change color. I hit it again, change color. And as I go through the cycle, it cycles the color of the lights. So now it's white, and then it's off. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors with the RGB.
That's cool.
So just by hitting the channel here, and that's done with the AOK, he built me that module. So if I have the lights there, it's on right now, I'd have to actually turn off the lights to see if there's a big difference of power. Do I still have juice in this battery? Yeah, there is a difference of brightness. I can look at it more now.
you'd see it tank unless you're running.
Yeah, but I don't know how much juice I got in this battery. It's probably even low. I don't know. I don't know if it's under my 2S capability, or I can't find a better battery. Yeah, this one seems to be a little brighter. But yeah, there is a big difference in 7 volts and 11 volts. So put the 3S back on. Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are brighter looks.
Yeah. So running on 3S makes it much brighter. But that's because this is a 12-volt light. It will take 12-volt natively with no problem running right off the battery. Right. And what I did is I made a special connector with some Dean's connectors. Like that, I can connect the lights and connect accessories directly on 12-volt. That's how my deck is also connected. So that's my underglow with the LED lighting.
Is that the one you're taking to the night crawl?
Yep. And it's going to be pulling my trailer, the trailer with my Razor buggy that's on it.
Nice.
And I'm making everything fall. So now you got to do your wheelchair and show us how you did your wheelchair.
Yeah, I am definitely going to make a video of it. That's one of the requests the guy had, was he wanted to see it being put on and then them working. So, for sure.
Cool. It's especially your 2 bright light bars. I wonder where you're going to put those, because you can't really put it in front because you're sitting there, and you can't really put it where your feet are. So those are going to be kind of weird to actually hook up and make them point forward, because you don't have a dash. You don't have nothing.
Right.
Yeah, just don't hook up so many that once you're running all your lights that you like push your controller forward and you can only move 3 inches and then you run out of juice.
Yeah, and get stuck out in the middle of nowhere.
Well,
I
voltage...
wonder if I could hook them up maybe facing backwards or something, where they'd come on when I like reversed. I don't know if the controller's equipped like that. I don't know. There might be some spots.
So at the crawl, this is the trailer, Urban Crawl. This is the trailer I'm going to be using. And it's actually pretty simple. The guy that made this trailer, like, I'm not going to take credit for building it, but it's pretty cool. It's got a clip here. I can take the clip off, and it actually tilts up, and it just stays there, just with the weight. So it's just kind of cool. I can actually drive onto the truck, and actually it just goes like this, and I put the pin back on, and then I can drive away. It's really neat and pretty simple how he did it, because the arm is actually just on the brace. He just used some angle iron here and put a threaded rod across, and he's got his wheels. So it's pretty simple how he did it. Sometimes you try to overthink it, but the way he did it was pretty simple.
It's a much easier setup than my trailer.
Yeah, way easier, way easier. And then this goes like that, and then I just take this clip, push down a little bit on the truck, then the front is hooked up, and then I can do the same with the back. I take this, push it down a little bit, and find my hole. Where's my hole? There it is. And now the truck is all attached, and I can go forward, backward, and it just stays on. it's kind of cool and easy to do.
Did you make that that Polaris or buggy?
This one, no. This used to be a short course truck, a 1/16 or 1/18 short course truck from Take-On, Japanese Take-On. So, and then the guy had this, and he put it all together. He bought it, and he had it for about a year. And then I bought the buggy and the trailer off of him, and I got a pretty sweet deal for it. But no, I got all this just like this.
Awesome.
So
hey, Tony, are you there? I wanted to ask about one of the running videos.
Yeah.
I left you a comment. I don't know if you've seen it, but I remember we were talking about that DHK, not the Zombie, but the Maximus.
Yeah.
And you ran the Zombie. Which one do you like better since you ran them both? Because I like both of them, but not sure which one.
I think I responded.
You might have. I've been busy today.
Yeah. It's a toss-up, really. I mean, I think the Maximus ekes it out just a little bit. I like that it doesn't have the fin on it. I don't know, just the way that it's built, and it's weighted because of the batteries and the placement of everything. I just like how it handles a little bit better. But it does take two batteries that don't have or don't want to buy a bunch of you have two batteries, you only get 10 minutes of runtime or 15 minutes of runtime, where with the other one you have two batteries and you get double the amount of runtime, so you get 30. And the that close that I'll look at the Zombie if it's their first one, and that way when they buy their second battery they'll have double the runtime, when they go out.
Right.
But I mean, since I have plenty of batteries, the Maximus for me just kind of just that little bit better. I enjoy. Yeah, it's also partly Zombie that often on 4S.
What's that?
I don't run the Zombie on 4S very often, which makes it more equal,
Right.
But I was a long time, but now I've got plenty as well. So, but it just seems overpowered. It's just on 4S because you got to run it on two batteries. So you stick 4S in and you just don't go full power all the time. But I don't know. I mean, it's really stylistically, I like the Maximus better.
Yeah,
cool.
I think so too.
Yep.
Well, looks like Troy went offline. I don't know if he lost internet or whatever. And also, let me change camera because I want to say bye. We're going to cut this short. Not cut this short, but been going for well over 2 hours right now. So thanks, guys, for joining. We're going to probably stay on a little bit to chit-chat. Thanks to all the people that are online and posted questions and posted some different stuff. Wayne Kimbler is actually heading off to bed because he's got an early morning also. So thanks for showing up, guys. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you next week. And keep having fun with RC.
See you guys.